Hello, Dr. Xia. My name is Zero, and now we're going to present the project tool for PSDA. So our group members are Sim18, me, Lim Zero, and Trevor J. Nicholas. So first of all, the data set that we studied is about heart attack analysis and prediction. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, ischemic heart disease continued to be the leading cause of mortality, accounting for 70% of the 109,000 plus deaths that were medically verified in 2020. So you can see that heart disease is fatal in our country, which is why we want to study which predictors that affects the heart disease most. So this is our data set. We have 7 variables with 6 predictors and also 1 variable which is the output that stands for the heart disease status. Next. So we have conducted 4 tests in our study. The first one is hypothesis testing one sample. So all variables executing output has involved in the hypothesis testing one sample. And we have also conducted correlation and regression between the 6 predictors, which is EXNG, CP, CAA, OPIC, SRP with TALAC, which is the maximum heart rate. And we have conducted chi-square test between EXNG, CP, and the output, which is the heart disease status. Next.
Okay, so the first variable is the TALAC, which is maximum heart rate. We did hypothesis one sample test for maximum heart rate, and we found that there's a sufficient evidence to support that a person who has a maximum heart rate around 145 will have a higher chance to get heart disease due to the fast pace of heart rate. Okay, and the second variable is the EXNG, which is exercise-induced angina. We did hypothesis one sample test, regression and correlation, and also chi-square test for exercise-induced angina. And then we found that there's a significant association between exercise-induced angina and heart disease status. A person who has exercise-induced angina will have a higher chance to get heart disease. And the third variable is the CP, which is chest pain type. We also did hypothesis one sample test, regression and correlation, and also chi-square test for this variable. And from the hypothesis one sample test, we found that people with atypical angina chest pain, which is represented by 1, will have heart disease. We have a higher chance to get heart disease. And from regression and correlation and also chi-square test, we found that there's a significant association between chest pain type and heart disease status.
So for the OP, which is previous peak, we have used hypothesis one sample test and regression correlation. So for hypothesis one sample test, we have tested if the OP is 1, so if the people that have 1 for the type of ST depression induced by exercise relative to rest will have higher chance to get heart disease. And for regression or correlation, since the p-value is smaller than significant value, so there's a relationship, and it is a weak relationship between the OP and the heart disease. Next. For slope, we have 3 types, which is represented by 0, 1, and 2. However, 0, 1, and 2 is not supported, and the alternative hypothesis is accepted. So we don't have any sufficient evidence to support the claims that the mean of the slope of the peak of exercise ST segment is equal to 0, 1, or 2 type. So for regression and correlation, they have only weak linear relationship between SLP and heart disease. Next. For CAA, which is the number of major vessels, we have number of major vessels 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So within these 5 number, we have tested that number 4 is the number of major vessels which will affect the heart disease by using hypothesis one sample test. For regression and correlation, this is a negative linear correlation, and it has weak linear relationship also between the number of major vessels and heart disease.
In summary, it is known that the variables EXNG, exercise-induced angina, and CP, chest pain type, are the vital predictors that lead to heart disease. First of all, to avoid the trigger of exercise-induced angina, a healthy diet is compulsory. Moreover, it is a good practice to have moderate exercise, but not too extreme one. Chest pain types include a few such as tibial angina, atypical angina, non-angina pain, and asymptomatic. In our study, chest pain of any type is a predictor to heart disease. Preventing and diagnosing chest pain involves adopting a healthy lifestyle. understanding risk factors, regular medical checkups, and being aware of the early signs of heart problems. So that's all for our project 2. Thank you.